Welcome to the Jockey Club, a podcast looking at the movie Let It Ride, one scene at a time. My name is Dan Delgado, and we're at historic Hialeah Park where one man is having the best day of his life.
I'm having a good day.
So come on in and hang out while we talk about this day and the greatest movie of all time, Let It Ride. Don't worry about that guy at the door. I've got you covered. You can even
take my seat to the Jockey Club.
Joining us at the table in this episode to discuss the first scene of Let It Ride is a man who spent 6 months as my co-host on a radio show that I used to do, a man who knows his way around the track, and also the person I saw Let It Ride with all the way back in 1989, my brother, Eric Delgado. All right, so here we go with scene 1 from Let It Ride, and this is the scene at the Twin Dragons restaurant. And what we have here is we're introduced to our protagonist, Jay Trotter. We are introduced to his wife, Pam, and they are getting together. It's a reconciliation dinner that's happening here in the opening scene. Honestly, and it's Eric, it's not until that I learned that this was not the original intended opening scene of the movie.
Yeah.
It now kind of dawns on me because this scene sets up the movie so unbelievably well.
Yes.
You could kind of think about, oh, someone went back. Like if I told you somebody went back to the beginning and said, well, what could I write that would sort of tie this movie together from the beginning?
Yes.
That's what this scene is.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two of them are having their dinner. And they are going over, each one has a list of things that they're going to promise to do or to not do.
Right. So somehow, before they even agreed to the dinner, however that happens,
yes,
they somehow communicated to each other. All right. So like, in order for this to go really well,
yes,
let's go over like the issues that we have and how we think we're going to fix them.
Yes.
And who knows? I'm guessing that Pam was the one that was pushing this agenda, and Jay was the one agreeing to it wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I would say that it could be the kind of thing that maybe Jay has come up with because he's gone through some sort of a 12-step program.
Right, okay.
Right? He's gone through a Gamblers Anonymous, right? Now, the funny thing is, there's only 4 items that are mentioned on the list, but all 4 items are things that they end up coming up later in the movie.
Right.
So he starts out by saying, I'll always remember to call.
Right. Yeah, there's no throwaways.
Yeah.
Yes, every one of these is a huge issue in the movie.
Yes. I'll always remember to call. He does not call. First of all, he does not want her to know.
No.
Right?
No.
Where he's at later on in the film.
Right. Once he breaks whichever cardinal rule that's going to send him down the path, all the rules are out.
Yes. She just instinctively knows to call the track. And I don't know how they know he's in the Jockey Club.
She's got the number to the track.
I can't imagine that she's calling directly to the Jockey Club. Right? Because he's never been there.
Right. No, not the Jockey Club.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
She does know how to find his...
Yeah, I'm thinking she knows that he's there. He gets paged. Eventually, it just gets routed there. I don't know. Okay, so that's his. I'll always remember to call. All right, so hers is, I will not lose my temper in public anymore.
Whew. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, first of all, look, that should just be a thing in general.
It would be nice.
Right.
It would be nice.
But it does let you know, it almost seems to me, because she's so damn cute there, it seems like, is that really a thing? Really? Do you have to overcome that? Whoo!
How much of it is that she's Terry Garr plays into you thinking that?
Oh, all of it.
All of it, right?
All of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's another point I'm going to make about that coming up.
Oh, okay.
That same issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to do the next thing on the list?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to come back to that. All right.
Sure.
All right. So the next is Jay saying, I won't gamble so much. Which is okay. No, of course we know we're talking about a movie that is specifically very much about gambling.
Yeah, you know that at this point.
It is a gambler's fantasy movie.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So obviously that one is going to get broken. We all know this going in.
Well, I mean, fortunately for him, not that it works out, but, he puts it in the most ambiguous way. I promise I won't gamble so much.
Oh, that's true. So, so much does tell you something, right?
Yeah. We're not completely out on the gambling here. And who's to say, what barometer are we using?
Yes, I will gamble, but less.
Right.
It does have a different connotation if he says it that way. I'll gamble less because then you're all right. He's still going to gamble.
Right.
But yeah, I won't gamble because I won't.
Yep.
But then so much.
So much. Right. And who knows?
Put a little wiggle room in there.
Yeah.
Because, look, if I buy scratch-offs, that's a gamble.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. That's what I was going to say. Like, right, maybe there's the $2 win ticket.
Mm-hmm. It's $2.
Right. To some people, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And to some people, that's not so much.
This is true.
So it leaves it pretty wide open for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then the last one that we get to on the list, and this is on both of their lists, is I won't worry about money so much. I won't worry so much about money.
Hey, I won't worry so much about money.
Yeah, I know they kind of like compare that they both have it on the list, and it's really kind of sweet and adorable.
Yeah,
like,
he's so enthusiastic about that moment. Yeah, that's to me where it tells me that he's the one trying to sell this, to her.
Yeah,
right? Because he's like, hey, look, I won't gamble so much.
Yeah,
I mean, I won't worry so much about money.
Yeah.
And hey, I won't gamble so much. Look. Is that exciting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So from here, we go from that Jay just kind of has this little moment, right? Where he ponders and he says to her, I figured out my problem.
Yep. He gets comfortable.
Right. Yeah. He gets vulnerable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I figured out my problem in life, and it's God doesn't like me.
Yeah. And, it's such a loaded statement because I'm already concerned that he's going to backtrack in, the progress that he's made with her.
Right.
Right there, he's going to kill it.
Uh-huh.
That's the concern. Because, what is that supposed to, okay. If you're in a romantic relationship and you're saying something like that, no matter what's going on, that's cause for alarm. If I'm with somebody who thinks that.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true. This is a guy who's telling you, I'm doomed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And now we also know, though, that these guys they're working on a reconciliation. He's got a pretty serious hot button problem, which is the gambling.
Yes.
So we know that it's worse than just two suckers, sitting around chatting. And he drops that in there, and that it's about the gambling.
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, he even follows when she says, oh, God loves everybody. He says, not this horse.
Yes, right.
Not this guy.
Right.
Right. Not this horse.
And she's so sweet to sort of be encouraging there instead of to go, you know what? See, here you go.
Yeah, no. She's totally fine.
Yeah.
Until we get to, oh no, I'm sorry, because I don't want to gloss over where then he just sort of thinks this is why, I don't know why, but this is why, that the reason that God doesn't like me, this is the reason why I would like to just have one day.
Oh, yes, man. And that, right, again, if you're looking for, I'm sure there's a list of like signs that a gambler is about to go bananas. Right? There's got to be lists of these things. Statements like that mean he's near the edge.
Yeah.
He's looking for that day.
Yes. Please find me the reason.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't know that God doesn't like me would correlate with I just want to have one day.
Yeah,
right?
Because in his mind, right, he's accepting his own theory that God doesn't like him.
Yes.
So since you don't like me, just throw me one bone.
Just give me this, and then I'll walk away.
Right.
And then that's all I need.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's got to be terrifying, legitimately, And she's too damn sweet. So.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to expound on it. She presses him. He's not going to expound on it anymore.
Right.
And now we're going to get to the fortune cookies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She says that she mentions that they could be having sex.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
That's right. Well, they go over what their schedule is going to be.
Right.
All right. So we're going to.
There you go.
We're going to. He's going to go to work. right? So he's going to go to work, which we know he's going to drive a cab.
Right.
Right? He's going to work that.
Yep.
And then he's going to be home in the morning. And then by, I don't know, like 11:15 or 12:15, they could be having sex.
Right. So
and
they're
they're starting their marriage.
Exactly. They're so encouraged by it. Right. This is another moment where the fact that it's Terry Garr,
Yes.
his reaction is like nonplussed by her adding that. You know, that we could be having sex.
Yes.
He's not, he just moves on from that comment.
He's not thinking about it so much as he's thinking about his one day.
Right.
Right?
Right. So again, that should be another huge tip off to the audience, because the schlubby guy over there just got propositioned by Terry Garr, and he's like not thinking about that at all. And I actually, when I've seen this a couple times, I've actually thought to myself, well, could it be that the relationship is so, I don't want to say stale, or, you know, like common between them, like that it doesn't really stimulate him? And I still came up with hell no.
Well, they do try to middle-age Terry Garr looking, right? Like, they don't dress her good. They give her lousy hair.
Yeah.
You know, they make it seem like maybe there is a rut that has existed here.
Yes.
Or maybe just that these two people have been through a lot. Right? Okay, so now we're going to the fortune cookies. Right?
Yeah.
And so Jay gets a fortune cookie. What does it say?
You could be walking around lucky and not know it.
Yes.
Sometimes you can be walking around lucky and not know it.
Jeez. I got to tell you, just saying it like that.
Right?
You get a fortune cookie like that?
Yeah.
What the hell?
First of all, every fortune cookie I get has some dumb quote, and then it has lotto numbers on it.
Well, I will tell you that there's been some sort of like commercialization of the fortune cookie.
Oh, well, sure.
So there was, I'm not gonna say it's completely unrealistic at the time.
Yeah, really, back then you could have got something.
You got some more curious things back in those days.
Yes.
Yeah. Now you don't get shit.
Right.
You don't get anything cool.
No, you don't.
Yeah. It's always like advice for you. You know, like go out and spread joy. All right, damn it. Settle down. Yeah. Or like you said, lotto numbers.
Yeah, well, usually I would get something and then the lotto numbers as well. Like those are together.
Right.
I know. Who's using that for their lotto number guide?
I'm thinking that there probably was a time where, like, as an industry, they were getting too many, like, threats, you know, like maybe litigation. Hey, you said over here I was supposed to be getting lucky. So then they went to, no, we're going to get things that nobody could challenge.
Now it's
those are the things you're going to get.
Completely bland, generic, and you can't pin us down on anything.
Right, because it's totally, like, the magic is gone from the fortune cookie.
Yeah.
My child thinks it's great, but she's 9.
Oh, okay, yeah. I got you. So you could be walking around lucky and not even know it, which is sort of just the theme of the movie going forward.
So magical.
This,
yes.
right? This. And yeah, it's just the phrasing of it.
Phrasing.
It's not like, yeah, you're going to have a lucky day. It's like you need to be paying attention
to
the universe, to the signs.
Right.
Because if you don't, you will miss out on your lucky day.
I'm immediately on alert from this moment until something happens. If it's me.
Yeah.
Something that bananas happens. Whew.
Right.
They know. Somebody knows. You don't put something out there like that without knowing.
Yeah. And then Terry Garr, she gets her fortune cookie, which is stand by your man.
Right.
Which is also very prophetic.
Fabulous.
For the movie. Also, maybe not the most feminist fortune cookie out there.
No. And she makes it worse by saying it like, of course it's going to be something like, stand by your man. Yeah. Like, shouldn't I? Guys, isn't that what we're doing here?
I feel so bad for her.
Yes, right.
So bad for Pam.
Right.
Okay, so then they're going to pick another one. But, but Jay, I'm sorry, not Richard Dreyfuss, but Jay isn't going to touch one because Pam, while picking one up, has already touched
No, you already touched that one.
You already touched that one, so it's no good anymore.
Yeah.
Have you heard that before? That if you touch another fortune cookie, another person's fortune cookie, it's not good anymore?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir. But
I don't doubt that exists.
I'm sure it does.
Thing.
I'm sure it exists, right? Because, like we just said, there's some not anymore. It's all gone. But at the time, it was implied that there could be some magic in there, and so why not be that the magic isn't in there, for you? It's in there for me.
Yeah.
If you touch mine, maybe the magic goes away. So I could see that. I mean, yeah, with imagination, sure. I'm positive that's a thing. I had just never heard it until they did it.
I have no problem if they made it up completely because it sounds like a thing. It sounds plausible that some people have a superstition around fortune cookies.
Yes. Right. And I think at one time they were even wrapped in paper.
Oh, well, maybe these are wrapped in paper.
I'm not sure. They might be. We have to take a closer look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're in this, unbreakable plastic.
Yes.
There's no way.
It also feels like the cellophane that they're in now, right? That would prevent.
Yeah, it's impenetrable.
Yeah. Now it's okay to touch that fortune.
And maybe that was a thing too. Like, look, we're eliminating any of this horse shit.
Yeah.
But I remember them when they were wrapped in paper, and so obviously it could have been there, and that would lead to, again, more likely that your vibes got in there.
Right.
You might have even touched the cookie if you mess around. Yeah. So.
All right. So I'm not going to touch that one because you ruined it. And also the phrasing.
Right.
You ruined it when you touched it.
With your black poison.
Even though
all over it.
It's just supposed to be that anybody touches it. Right?
Yes. Right.
It sounds accusatory.
No, he does. He makes it about her.
Yeah. Well, because you ruined it when you touched it. So I'll just take this one. And now this is going to start a little argument.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just a little one.
It's just a little one. Right? And Pam goes from 0 to breaking her first promise.
Right.
Right? I will not lose my temper in public anymore.
Yeah.
She starts to lose it right there.
Yes.
And I think she even threatens him, like, I'm going to lose my temperature.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see, this is way more than, this is a fatal flaw. Like before, she might just be wonderful and, and he's just missing it. No, this is scary as hell.
I will tell you, though, this leads to the first moment. And it's so funny because I know you're going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I think people who love this movie will know what I'm talking about. But I truly believe that Joe Pytka, director of this film, directs the hell out of this movie.
Yes.
And this little moment that I know you know what I'm talking about is where he's looking at Pam and he goes, excuse me, and then he turns to the guy next to him and says it again, right?
Yeah.
And then you just hear it's just this perfect, I don't even, is it a pan or is it a cut to a guy?
It's like a jump cut.
Yeah, all right. It is. All right, so it's a cut, and it's just some super regular looking dude, mustachioed guy eating his Chinese food.
Right.
And on the last one, the plates clink at the exact moment.
Yes.
And now we're addressing some complete third party.
Yes.
Excuse me. Excuse me. No, excuse me. Sorry.
And he's right in your face.
Yeah, and he's right in your face. And that guy's like, and the guy's looking at like what? What do you want?
Right.
What do you
I'm
want?
just here minding my own business.
There's a beauty to it. It's so well done.
Yes. Right.
And
he appears for that reason.
Yes,
he appears for the reason of this moment. We didn't need him until now, even in his life. But at that moment, when Jay wants to excuse, he's right there for him.
Yes. And I don't even think you see the plates. I think you just hear them.
Yeah, I don't think
make that sound, that clink. Right?
Yeah, I'm startled by it.
Yes. And then he asked the guy about the fortune cookie, and I remember that I did not know what this guy was going to say. I remember thinking, like, is this real?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
What happens when you touch another person's fortune cookie? It's not good anymore.
And and what's great about that, is with all that buildup, you would think, the response you're supposed to get is at least a little bit of a setup from the guy. Well, the way I feel is this.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. He's like, he was waiting for the question. He knew the question was, it's not good anymore.
Yeah, very matter of fact.
I'm done helping you.
That's it.
Yeah, here's your answer.
Yeah, here's your answer. I'm going back to my food.
Yeah,
Thank you very
he
much.
almost doesn't miss a chopstick. It's always done.
And he says that, other people in the restaurant hear it, and all of a sudden a debate starts over it. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Heated.
And here we get an appearance by David Landsberg.
Right.
So I will bring up David Landsberg because he was part of a comedy duo with Richard Dreyfuss's brother, Lauren Dreyfuss. So they were in 2 movies together.
Yeah.
Detective School Dropouts and Dutch Treat, neither of which are particularly successful movies.
No, you're not done with Dutch Treat.
Oh, I'm not? Oh, I'm sorry. Dutch Treat starring. I'm sorry. Featuring the international sensation, the Dolly Dots. That's a singing band. But Landsberg is in there. And, okay. No, I'm right. Just a quick Lauren Dreyfus thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Moon over Parador. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I have not seen this movie in many years.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember it being okay when I saw it. I saw it in school.
It got a lot of buzz.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah. And I only thought it was okay too.
Okay, so in that movie where Richard Dreyfuss is playing a Michael Dorsey type actor, right? Like Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie, some unemployed actor.
Oh my gosh.
He goes down to, or I don't know.
The premise is good.
The premise is great.
Yeah.
He goes down. It's Dave before Dave.
Right.
He goes down to Parador, or he's in front of. For some reason, he's in front of the dictator of this small Central / South American country, and he does a great impression of the guy. Right, and then the guy dies, and Richard Dreyfuss has to impersonate him for a couple of weeks, something along these lines, right?
Yeah.
Now, I always thought that Richard Dreyfuss is also playing the dictator.
Right. So did I.
Okay, it's Lauren Dreyfus.
I got you.
And I did not learn that until maybe now, I'm only aware of Lauren Dreyfus' existence within the last 2 years. Right?
Okay.
I saw Detective School Dropouts, and I'm watching this trailer, and I'm like, who is this guy who's doing this Richard Dreyfuss impression?
Man.
It turns out, no, it's his brother. He just sounds like that.
Right.
You know, whatever.
Yeah, and he's got the
that
beard
is.
on, so you can't really tell.
Whatever, like, I don't even know, like, what that sound is. Like, he has a distinct voice.
Yep.
Like, almost an, I don't know, accent from somewhere.
Yeah, it seems a little like Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it could be like Indiana,
Midwesty
kind
of thing.
It's not as strong as Chicago, but yeah, that'd be my guess.
Okay, so neither here nor there. Anyway, David Landsberg's in the group of people at the Twin Dragons debating.
Yes.
Now, well,
Right.
it's great. It is like this like wacky now funny scene of everybody, going over. We get one of my favorite lines, which is off screen, a woman just going, "It is not just a cookie."
Right.
It is not just a cookie.
Because one of the beautiful things about this movie is just how full of wacky characters, how like really colorful characters.
Yeah, that's all Pitka.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's his style. In all those videos, all his commercials. I mean, he really, by the time we get this movie, he's not, is it his first and only movie?
Well,
Space
Jam.
A little movie called Space Jam.
Yeah.
Right.
Odd. I don't, like, the career doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Right?
He's got to have friends in some areas
I
to get that
sometimes
deal.
I wonder, did he just think, all right, this movie business, what a bunch of crap. Let me go back to making commercials where I'm making lots of money.
He was too. He was, because his style works so well for a commercial. Right?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of the things that happen in the movie, you could break it down and see it in a commercial.
Yes.
And on the new Blu-ray that came out last year, the 2021,
Yeah.
there's an interview with him. There's not a lot of interviews with him talking Let It Ride, but there's like a 10-minute interview with him, right?
Yeah.
He's not on camera, by the way. It's just audio.
Okay.
And one of the things that he said that struck me what was really interesting is that going into Let It Ride, when he was looking to, get his crew, he said that what he could do, right? Him, whatever it was that he had, his crew.
Yeah.
He was more advanced than what Paramount had. And he was shocked by this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, look, maybe when they're looking at the material, they're thinking of something more along the lines of like California Split sort of approach to it.
Oh, I wonder.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's a dark subject. Even though it's funny, I mean, the book is not anywhere near this kind of wackiness. It's more familiar comedy.
Yeah. So the book, Good Vibes by Jay Cronley, for those who don't know.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, just spitballing, but yeah, thinking like the studio, they have no vision. So they're probably thinking it's going to be something along those lines. And he's saying, no, I can drop in 800 characters.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe, because, okay, look,
Well,
he does do that.
they do wacky it up, but it's the studio that comes in and changes the opening scene. So just for people who don't know, the opening scene was instead Jay at a Gamblers Anonymous meeting.
Right.
And he's there for, I think, his 30-day chip. And he's the only one there. He's the only one getting it.
Right.
He stands up and he gives a speech, and it's kind of a funny speech, but it's also, a little dark and a little sad. And,
Right.
It's really different. It's so different tonally.
Yes.
And so they end up changing that, right? And then they give you this one, which honestly, I would not want to lose this opening scene.
Right.
Because first of all, it gives you more Terry Garr.
Yep.
Right? Because we lose that little bit of her, and it does kind of set her up a lot better.
Absolutely.
If you don't have her, right?
Yes.
I mean, if you wanted to put the other scene before this one, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they lose that serious scene in favor of something that's wackier.
I got you. And you're saying that's the studio that picked that.
That's the studio that did that. And
But that's
I know
after
Pitka didn't like it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Pitka did not
Well,
like
he
it.
wanted that big juxtaposition, I guess, then, to
Yeah.
go from that to like, all right, now we're going into crazy time.
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe they wanted to ground it in a certain reality and sort of acknowledge some of the bad gambling stuff, even though it turns into this ridiculous, like, honestly, let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask, all right, this is a personal question.
Okay.
I'm going to say,
all right.
Do you remember the name Postman Dan?
From the movie?
No.
Just
in your life.
Postman Dan.
Yeah, Postman Dan. Because you saw Postman Dan, and then you brought me. And I saw Postman Dan as well.
Oh, man. Is this going to be some gambler?
It's a horse.
Oh, it's a horse.
It's a horse.
Gotcha.
It's a horse. This was after we saw this movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to say it's the next weekend or something.
Right.
It's maybe the next year. It's maybe like 1990. But you come to me and you say, I think you actually won money on this horse.
Okay. Man, I wish I could remember this better.
This is at Gulfstream Park.
Okay.
Right? Now, I should point out that Let It Ride takes place in South Florida, in Miami, specifically Hialeah Park. So a lot of it is in Hialeah, even though people who live in Hialeah would not recognize these people.
Right.
I don't think.
Right. This is happening?
Yeah.
This is the underbelly.
Exactly. So you come to me, tell me about, I won a horse. You're not going to believe his name. Postman Dan. Like me.
Right.
You need to come. So we went the next week. Sure enough, that horse was running again.
Yeah.
White horse.
Yeah.
Last place.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
But you're saying I had won money off of it.
I think you had won money off of it.
I would think, why would I be so excited?
Yeah.
Yes, I must have.
It wasn't as though we gambled a lot of money. It was a few dollars.
Right.
And we gambled on a few
Sure.
races that day.
Yeah.
But I know that the fuel for that
Yes.
is this movie.
Yes. Oh, I hear you on that.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. That was my education.
Yeah, this movie could be leading you in the wrong path.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, okay, so I get where you're going, right? Like, so because it's not grounded, because there are no real lessons.
Exactly.
Right. Look, right, just flat out, when it's over, no spoilers, but when it's over, I want to live this life.
Oh my God.
I want this
Absolutely.
day.
I want this day.
Right?
I want to be in the group. I want to hang out.
Right?
Maybe I don't want to hang out at the Jockey Club, but I definitely want to hang out at that bar
Right.
where all those degenerates
Oh,
are
we
hanging
wanted
out
to
at.
find it then.
Yes.
Yes. Could this be?
Yes. Where did they film this?
Yeah, so if they're hoping to avoid that, that's the last thing that happened.
Oh,
I walked out of there like, let's go to the track.
I don't know if they were hoping to avoid it or not. But
Yeah.
I know that they wanted to. Let's take out that darkness and put in something a little more fun.
Yeah.
And then whoever wrote it, and I don't know, like the movie's written by Nancy Dowd, famous for doing Slapshot. And when I believe the story is that when they change this scene,
Yeah.
she takes her name off the movie.
Oh, I think, yeah, you said that.
It's written, because if you watch the credits, it's written by Ernest Morton, who does not exist.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so I do,
So it's enough of an issue.
I also wonder who wrote it.
Right.
I don't know. Did Pitka write this? Maybe we'll find out by the time that we're done with this series.
Right. There's a good chance of that.
Yeah. So I don't know, but I do know that this became a big contention. They
Right.
had to go back and, not only write this scene, but, bring Dreyfuss and bring Terry Garr back in and film a new scene.
Yeah. And he, of course, they both look a little different.
Oh, you think?
Yeah. She looks a little fuller. She looks a little, definitely, yeah. Neither one of them look as good as they did in the movie. Neither one of them. Yeah. He looks the same way. He looks like he's less comfortable in that suit that he's been in for the last 36 hours or whatever it comes to. But I have to say this about that, and I love what Nancy did because that's the thrust of it.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with the decision.
It's weird because normally you're sort of not on the studio side.
Right.
But
here they come again.
And I'm okay. Like I say, I am okay with that first scene. And that first scene, I'm pretty sure is in the book.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But I don't want to lose this scene that we're talking about.
Right.
Because this scene is legit funny.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sets up these characters, introduces them. You totally get the dynamic of the relationship.
Yes.
There's so much information that's in this opening scene. I hate to lose that.
Including the style that you need to, because Pitka takes some adjusting to. Because at first you could get a little overwhelmed by what's going on if he just comes at you full force. But you get a little taste of it here, which is also pretty brilliant to me. Because now when you start seeing this, it's not going to shock you, when it's actually big plot points.
Right.
And in the middle of plot points, it's just bananas.
Yes.
So, I think, for every reason, that's got to be there.
Thank you for visiting the Jockey Club, a look at the movie Let It Ride, one scene at a time. This episode was hosted, produced, and edited by me, Dan Delgado, and my guest was Eric Delgado. Music in this episode is from Epidemic Sound, and our podcast cover art is by Sean Labrie. If you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you did, then you can feel free to leave a nice review wherever it is that you can leave a podcast review. Or better yet, tell another Let It Ride fan about it. You can contact me through email. It's dan@moviemaker.com. Or even better, I'm on the Repod app, which is not only a great way to listen to podcasts, but a great way to interact with podcast hosts like me. Find it in the App Store. Come on by and say hello. And again, thanks for listening.